Compliance. Just hate being told what to do. Like, what's the deal with big corporations? They like making up these rules and regulations, making sure people don't die, and accommodating for things like safety. It's called common sense, people. Instructions are made for a reason. Okay, actually talking here, this is my beef of compliance. We spend like trillions of dollars over here at universities learning so much. Like, remember all those times you spent pulling an all-nighter studying just to get a 45 on your common exam? Yeah, and then forgetting everything the next day? That's why people go to places like this. So come on, let's check it out. So, compliance. That's the corporate lingo, but here, let me break it down. Basically, compliance is having a whole bunch of responsibilities and things to look out for, typically applying to your own work. You can mainly see compliance in things like engineers, farmers, financial advisors, and a whole bunch of careers. These people got a whole lot of pressure to make sure they don't inconvenience the livelihoods of their fellow humans. So guess what? It's a problem, because compliance sometimes overlooks safety and convenience, and prioritizes money. Yeah, that's right. It always comes back to greedy corporations. Lots of occupations like the ones we mentioned before have issues with their higher-ups restricting them from doing their job. Lots of engineers have to overlook some major design flaws as the company they work for wants to make as much money as possible. And sometimes safety features are too expensive to incorporate, so they cut them out. I know it sounds insane, but we've seen it time and time again. Phone companies have had their phones explode. Apple phones are as well engineered to perform worse than a new model comes out. Not just our phones, but also remember the Boeing 747 planes? There was that incident where the emergency door was torn off mid-flight, as well as countless other issues with the plane. Not to mention, it's not just engineers, but also our doctors are at the mercy of insurance companies. Their goal is to heal up and fix our injuries, but many doctors can't perform their life-saving work because it's simply too expensive for their patients. In these cases, it showcases how huge an issue compliance is in the workforce when it's taken too far. But, hey, there's always careers that let you do what you want. You know, things like art, music, and basically anything that's not business or STEM. But guess what? Those industries suck too. To even succeed and make any sort of financial return, it's going to require a lot of luck and patience that people would recognize you. And I'm sorry, that's just not happening for a majority of us. It's agitating that all the jobs that have full freedom are locked behind luck. Some of us aren't even that lucky. Just look at Casino Carl.
Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it.
Poor guy has been gambling since John's Casino's casino opened back in 1782. But overall, it's cool. That's why people study at universities like this one. And look, a human-sized vent in the principal's office? How convenient. You know, sometimes working with so much pressure is taxing. It almost feels claustrophobic with what's at stake, just like this vent. Believe it or not, I'm working to get my degree in chemical engineering. Not only do I have to make sure that humans will benefit, but also the earth too. You know how stressful that is? Speaking of stress is one of the biggest factors that determines someone's happiness, and also workplace satisfaction. According to the NIH, which is the National Institute of Health, they have various articles posted about how stress correlates with lower productivity, which is also a sign of job dissatisfaction. Studies were done in MIT back in the 1990s to determine how freedom correlates with happiness, and it does, not only on an individual level, but also up in the national levels. This means that people yearn for creativity, and some restrictions that come with compliance and overbearing overlook that. I think this is the right... Whoops. Well, this place is kind of cool, and yeah, don't worry, this is still school grounds. Overall, this is the purpose and focus of compliance. It's a burden to carry, but for some reason, some people like the challenge it brings. Compliance isn't always about hindrance. It can be a great motivator. Having constraints to work around is like adding extra obstacles to a puzzle. Sometimes this can even be more satisfying to solve. People love this stuff, and sometimes this dynamic challenges makes the job more valuable and sought after. Despite that, I believe that more options should be available for people that aren't so compliant-oriented. I think having that creative spark can bring more people and students a feeling of belonging and comfort, knowing that the creative passion won't be a financial burden on their future career choice. Some ways this can happen is with governments providing more grants and funding for people wanting to do work at home. Some companies like Google even provide their employees with time dedicated for personal projects. Compliance is not as bad as we thought it was. We just need to have more options in the world, and I think that will make it a better place. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have something to take care of. Haha, yes, this is it. Thank you for joining me on this little escapade, and I have only one thing left to do. Pocket plutonium.